G'day fellow commoners and fellow foes, if that makes sense. Before I begin, I'm just going to say that these videos won't help me in any way. I mean, my previous videos and everything that I've been talking about won't help me in any shape or form whatsoever. I mean, the more you try and combat this treatment, the harassment, the gangstalking, the breaking in of your property, and property theft, vandalizing of your vehicle, the more you try and stand up and fight back, the more that they'll crush you, the more that they'll inflict more harassment on you. Sort of like a payback for trying to get back at them. They don't like resistance. They don't like it. Now, when I say they, a lot of you say, oh, look at this conspiracy theorist, this crazy person, man, what's wrong with him? He needs some help. Someone go and help him, it's slack. But you have the internet. So before you have that judgment towards me, look it up. Look up an Australian politician by the name of Anne Bresington. She's from South Australia. Now, it first popped up when I first seen her was in 2014, and she was giving a speech to a lot of people in relation to this Agenda 21. Yeah, Agenda 21. And there's also another man called John Wilson. An anti-Freemason, who's also against this sort of thing. Now, I don't know much about Freemasonry, and there's a lot of bollocks on the internet about them as well. So you got to sift through what's true and what isn't. And I think a lot of it's there to be misleading. You know, a lot of it's flooded onto the internet to mislead the reader down the wrong path and wrong understanding about this fraternity. But what I do understand is that they came from a humble beginning. So their foundation, their roots, comes from what I've read and from what I understand, was for the working class. Hence, Freemasons, you know. I wouldn't think a rich person will be carving up stones by hand. That's a very laborious job. So they would have been the working class, the lower classes. And they would have formed together as a form of security against the wealthy and corrupt. But over the years, this fraternity has been infiltrated and corrupted. And I think that's as far as my knowledge goes on this organization. It's quite limited, my understanding. I know a lot of conspiracy theories, but that name says it itself. They're just theories, so it's not really knowledge on them. But what I have read about is eugenics, which is part of Agenda 21. It's a big contributing factor is eugenics programs that they've got for the Earth's population. Because these elitists, these powerful men from these organizations are obsessed with population control, are obsessed with depopulation, and the masses itself, the general public, have been brainwashed, flooded via commercials and all these environmental bloody programs to save the planet and whatnot. Yes, the planet is very, very important, and I'm the biggest advocate of that. But don't try and use that and enforce something else that's not true. Don't try and back up a lie, sneak up a lie behind the truth. You know, they've convinced the people that the Earth has limited resources and that the Earth can't sustain this many people that it's got right now. And many wealthy people are designing programs and backing up programs and funding programs and supporting programs to reduce the population. And it's not going to be from the rich and wealthy and the people higher up the pyramid, the people up the hierarchical chain of command. It's not going to be any of them that they're going to bloody depopulate, cull, as a more straight up word. That's what they used to say about animals. We're going to go and cull all the rabbits and all the foxes and all the kangaroos and stuff. We're not animals. And even culling animals is wrong. But I'm talking about humanity right now. Why do you think all these cooking shows are starting to advocate eating of bugs and grubs and saying that it's got more protein and more nutritional value to our dietary intake than meat, than vegetables? How many bugs does a human being have to eat before he has a full stomach? Far out. Wake up. I don't think I'm going to ever see those elites eating a bug unless it's a propaganda stunt. Now, moving along to another topic, since February 4th this year, it's now December, I have been living a completely solitary life. No contact from friends, no contact from family. Only the brief phone call here and there from my mum, but it's never a positive conversation. It's never a good one. And all interactions that I have with people is just always negative. Despite how positive I try and be, it's just, I've been isolated and exiled. And all this gang stalking and harassment has been going on for so long. I became homeless within 2 months, within the 2 months of this year. And I was stabbed in the leg. When I arrived at the hospital and I got fixed up, I was dealt with via police, and because the police found a bit of marijuana on me, my van was taken to forensics, my clothes were taken, my money was taken. Everything was taken from me. I was left at hospital with a stab wound, a hospital gown, and just my underwear and my dog. Where was I supposed to go? My accounts were frozen, my bank accounts. I couldn't access any money. I couldn't go to family, I rang them and asked, and no one would assist me. I don't want to get into that, it's a different story altogether. Very hurt. But for every action there's a reaction. So I'm not completely innocent in all this, and I may have done something to warrant that treatment from family, but that's just another topic. Anyways, these people behind these programs and this Agenda 21, the elitists, the people up the top of the hierarchical pyramid, they're insane. They're bloody insane. What they're trying to propose here is insane. And the last time we've seen something like this, that big and that large, was Hitler. So this is not new to humanity. This is not something that's new to our understanding of life and what can occur on a worldly front. These eugenics programs have always been around, but not in this extent that we're going to be seeing soon. I don't know exactly when. And the thing is, it makes no difference if you're black, white, yellow. They don't care. They don't care if you're an atheist. They don't care if you're a Muslim. They don't care if you're a Christian. They don't care if you're Jewish. They don't give a crap. They really don't care. We are just all bottom feeders to them, and we're sucking up all their resources. You and I are using up their oxygen as they look at it. And we're offering nothing back to the planet. We're offering nothing back to society. That's just how they look at it. I don't look at it in that way at all. While you and I argue over these stupid little differences that we have that are meaningless, the ones higher up that pyramid that I keep talking about, they look at us as monkeys. They say, look at these monkeys, look how easy they are. Look how easy they are to be fooled into fighting one another. Look at them. They're so easily manipulated, it's not funny. And they laugh so hard. And we think we're in control of our own lives. We got no clue what the hell's going on behind the curtains, behind the scenes, and how these people are orchestrating and influencing our lives. I, for one, know exactly the full extent of how much they can make your life a living hell. If you challenge these people, if you talk up about them, if you mention the smallest thing about them that they don't want people to understand or know about, your life will be so hard that you won't be able to even think about anything other than your next meal or your next day to clean your home. That's what these people do. They don't want us to stand up against this. They don't want... I mean, I'm nobody. It's going to take a little bullet straight to their head and I'm finished. But they don't want anybody to talk about it, because if it sparks awareness, that's the problem. It's not how big and how strong a person is. It's how much a person can relate to the general public and expose what's happening. That's all it is. Anybody that is capable of regurgitating what they understand in a practical, clear manner for other people to understand, and then those other people spread it around like Chinese whispers. They don't want that. Even if everyone is aware of what's to come, we can't do much to counter it. At least we'll be prepared. At least we won't just have the rug pulled out from under our feet and we'll be standing in a place that we have no comprehension of. At least we've prepared ourselves before we've got there. That's the whole point of people like me around the world that are talking about this Agenda 21 and eugenics programs and all these conspiracy theories. Some of the conspiracy theories are pretty whacked out. You know, I don't doubt that. But that's why people do the things that they do. It's not because they want to be famous. It's not because they want to have 15 minutes of fame. It's because they know that it's for the individual to survive. We all need to survive. We all need to stand together. One of us can't do it alone. If one of us fall, we all fall. That's how it is. That's what people like us understand. People like me, people that are trying to talk about this sort of thing. You got to comprehend that, people. Not every one of us is a tree-hugging hippie that's lost in our own bliss of love and loves everybody. Yes, I do love everybody, but I don't walk around with bloody flower power and trying to hug everyone and give them a flower. You got to understand that. Power in unity. You can break one stick individually, but if you have a bundle of sticks together, you can't break it. It's going to give more resistance. So the more people that are aware of what's coming to us in Australia and what our government has got planned for us is futile. It's important. It's very, very important that everybody is aware of what's to come, because it's going to influence everybody's life. There's not one person that's not going to be influenced. It's already starting out in our rural communities in Australia. We just don't see it on the news. We don't see it. We don't see many of it. We don't see much of it advertised or spoken of or reported on. We don't. We only see what they want us to see. And everybody knows that concept. But we forget sometimes and just get lost in it. I'm the same. You know, they put something on about the Middle East and there's this jet flying past and bombing people and you see blood and stuff. Of course you're going to get distracted and forget everything that's going on, because you're seeing a human being getting bombed. You're seeing things that's happening that's wrong. Of course you're going to forget what's happening here in your own soil. Wake up, people. Together we can beat this. It's going to be very difficult. It's not going to be easy. Many lives will be lost. Many lives will be lost if we don't stand up to this. But remember to try and do it in a peaceful way. Go and follow people like Anonymous. Watch people like Anonymous. Follow people like Julian Assange, Edward Snowden. Listen to a British rapper called Low Key, Immortal Technique. Try and understand the words of Tupac Shakur. Try and understand all these people that came in the past and stood up against this evil and tyranny. But try and apply it in a peaceful, modern way. We don't want to have another world war. We already seen the after effects of world wars. It's disgusting. So humanity should avoid war at all costs, because there's no one left then untouched by war. There's no rules in war. Don't be fooled by the laws of war. Anyways, people, peace, and do your research. Just do your research. Don't judge. You have the internet? Research. Ciao.